Hey everybody, welcome back and thank you so much for joining me again here on the My Bourbon Journey Whiskey Review channel. So again, from Old Carter Whiskey Company, this is part of their 2020 fall release. This is going to be specifically their American Whiskey Batch 4. This is one that I, generally speaking, always look forward to every year. So far, batches 1, 2, and 3 of their American whiskey have been some of my, favorite whiskeys, period. So they always do a good job with the American whiskey, and this is again one of those ones that I've really been looking forward to this year. So again, from Old Carter Whiskey Company, this is going to be their American Whiskey Batch 4. This is coming in at a whopping 139.6 proof or 69.8% ABV. So a big boy, big girl, define it however you'd like, but this is a big one here. So mash bill on this is undisclosed. However, generally speaking, their American whiskeys are always a high corn mash bill. Age stated, nothing age stated about this one, and the MSRP on this one generally is right around that $200 price point. So, all right, let's go ahead and get into the review. First, we'll start with the color. So again, color-wise, as you can see, really nice kind of deep, dark copper, almost mahogany. Most of the color of their whiskeys are generally the same. They're always this nice, deep, kind of like, almost brown hue to it. They're always so nice and dark. So, and again, I always like to move the whiskey around in the glass for a couple of reasons, help introduce a little air to it, and then it kind of gives you an idea of, the oils that are there on the glass. And again, they do no chill filtration with any of their whiskeys. So, all right, let's get into the nose. Whew. Boy, really big, like bold, dark fruits, like cherries specifically. Nice, like rich chocolate, like a creamy milk chocolate. Almost even, I guess it could go both ways. Milk chocolate, dark chocolate, just more of like that creamy, like melted chocolate is what you're kind of getting. Here's something interesting. I got like a glazed donut aspect, that sweetness from like the glaze of a donut. And then with this one, I get this almost like a musty or like a soaked piece of like wood. If you've ever been like in the woods and you come across that like wet wood note, you're kind of picking up a little bit of that. It's not a turn off in any way. It smells like a wet, like kind of charred piece of wood. Those really nice kind of like deep, like burnt sugars. And again, going back to the wood, it's almost like an aged whiskey, like a dusty type of note to it. But again, yeah, those deep kind of burnt or brown sugars are there. Really nice, like rich creme brulee. Oh man, really nice like butterscotch. This thing is like all over the place in terms of the nose. And again, it's following suit with all of the other prior batches. It's just a fantastic whiskey. Yeah, and again, with that chocolate before, you're picking up some of those like the coffee bean or like an espresso, something very like rich on the coffee side of things. Yeah, and that caramel note that's there is almost like a creamy Werther's or something, or maybe something melted. It's whenever you're like melting something, there's that richness, that like kind of decadence that's there, and you're picking up a lot of that on the nose here. All right, well, let's see how this one tastes. Cheers. So I'll say this first and foremost. I wouldn't have this be my first whiskey, or take your time with it, you know, allow your palate to become acclimated, because at almost 140 proof, you're definitely picking up some of the heat that's there. Although it does kind of dissipate, not completely, it still lets you know, I mean, it's sitting and resting on the palate with all those oils that are there. It's sitting there and you get this kind of tingle on your tongue, but definitely take your time with this one. Butterscotch all day on this one. Those burnt sugars are there. That really nice, rich, like soaked, you know, wood like I got before on the nose is definitely present, almost like a dusty whiskey type of profile. Again, some of those really nice, rich chocolate notes. The palate's more of a dark chocolate, like a deep, rich, dark chocolate than it was a milk chocolate. I kind of got a little bit of both on the nose, but this is more, again, of that decadent, like rich, dark chocolate type of note. Still picking up a little bit of that kind of like sweet buttered cornbread aspect on this one. Boy, and right there, a big hit of like espresso coffee just kind of came out. Again, combined with that dark chocolate that's there as well. Picking up a little bit of the sweet tobaccos that are there on this. There's a slight dryness, not as much dryness as I think I've gotten on some of their other prior releases. There's a lot more sweetness behind this with a nice rich oak presence that's there. The spice really kind of lingers, that's there. Some of the oak that's there is probably some of the tannin that kind of comes out. It's definitely not over oaked by any means. It's just the right amount of oak that's balancing out a lot of the sweetness that's there with those, you know, caramels and the butterscotches, if that makes sense. Again, still some of that like kind of pipe tobacco or just a sweet tobacco note. Maybe even a touch of mint on this one as well. Not always something I get with the old Carter stuff, but I'm getting a little bit of a mint undertone to that as well. Kind of came in late there for the most part. Coats the mouth extremely well. I mean, it's hitting on really all parts of the palate. Just a great mouthfeel. So on this sip, it was either the third or fourth sip, a lot of those heavy, dark fruits are really starting to kind of come out in this a little bit. Now, again, this has been open for, maybe, 15 or 20 minutes prior to the review, but really nice richness, that dark kind of bold fruit that's there. Almost even a touch of like a raspberry note on this one. Really nice. I mean, it just follows suit with a lot of what they do when they release their American whiskey. And again, this being batch 4, again, it just kind of follows suit with another, great addition to the lineup. And it's always one that, again, I look forward to, every year. So finish wise, I would say, I mean, it's long. I mean, it's got a nice high proof, non-chill filtered. It's oily, coats your mouth really well. So it allows all of those flavors to kind of just really continue to stick around. I will say that there's a lot of the dark fruit, that espresso, that dark chocolate that's there. Again, you get some of that kind of sweet cornbread, the butterscotch. It's just a fantastic whiskey. And, again, in full transparency, the samples were sent to me. But aside from that, I mean, it is what it is. There's no score. I'm just telling you what I know is in taste. And if you like that, great. If not, then, you need to find a different, whiskey. But this one specifically, again, it's always one of my favorites. And it didn't disappoint, you know, yet again. So there you have it. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Actually, the more I've talked on the finish, a little bit more of the mint kind of came out there a little bit in it. So with that being said, if this is something that you've had already, and again, this is a fall 2020 release, so if it's something that you've had now and it's close to the release time or it's down the road, you know, let me know your thoughts and feedback on this. You know, is it something that you enjoy as much as I do? It's just one of those whiskeys I think that they always, again, do a fantastic job with, and it shines and it shows, you know, within the whiskey. So please leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts on that. So also, if you'd like to follow me, you can on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of those places at My Bourbon Journey. Also, if you'd like to help support the channel, that's greatly appreciated. You can through the Patreon link, which I'll have linked in the description below. So with that being said, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in to another one of my reviews. And as always, remember, it's about the journey and not the destination. Cheers.